Welcome back to another conference tournament prediction video, and today we are doing the Summit League, and this is actually one of the more, believe it or not, one of the more surprisingly good conferences here of the mid-majors. This conference is very high-paced, very offensive-focused, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into this bracket. By the way, we're doing all 31 of these conference tournament prediction videos right here on the channel within the next 2 weeks. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Anyways, the 8 versus 9 game, Kansas City versus Oral Roberts. I want to go with Oral Roberts just out of respect. They are one of those teams that will never be forgotten in March after what they did to my favorite team, Ohio State. But I don't know, they're 7-22. They're not very good on either side of the ball. They're definitely better offensively. They have a top 250 offense. But, I mean, Kansas City is actually the 6th highest ranked team in KenPom in this conference. They're better than North Dakota and Denver. And I think they actually have one of the best defenses in this conference. So I think they can get past Oral Roberts. And Kansas City actually has, I believe, the 6th highest odds to win this conference as well. You know, it's not crazy, but I think they are definitely a better team than Oral Roberts. They split in the regular season, but I do truly believe this team is much better. But that sets up a the whole first round now. In this conference, a lot of people are saying it's a 4-team race, and I wouldn't disagree, but I wouldn't count out that 5 seed. We'll get to that in a little bit, but starting off, Omaha versus Kansas City. I don't think Kansas City will have enough. Omaha is 14-3 in their last 17 games. They are just cruising right now. They finished the season out on a 3-game win streak, 13-3 in conference. There's a reason they are, at the top of this conference. This is a very good conference as well. So, and yeah, they just got all the vibes going. I mean, I've seen them. I feel like we've all seen the video of them kicking the trash cans in the locker room. I mean, they're playing as a team right now. They're playing for each other, and I like that. So I got them to the second round pretty easily there. Not really too worried. Now, this game definitely does concern me. North Dakota State, a little bit about them. They are actually one of the slowest paced teams in all of Division I, but they have a top 50 offense. I believe the best offense, at least efficiency-wise, in this conference. This team is very good. Also, they shoot the most threes out of any team in all of Division I, and they're shooting 40% as a team as well. Now, their defense isn't great. You look at South Dakota, though. They have a very good offense as well. Not as good efficiency-wise, but they are according to KenPom, the 3rd fastest paced team in all of Division I. So I think this game has a chance to get very high up into the scoring. If it does, though, North Dakota State does have the higher ranked offense. I know they just played recently, which does worry me. Maybe South Dakota can turn it around. They only lost by 4. Maybe they can turn it around and win in a rematch. Actually, sorry, South Dakota just beat or no, that's North Dakota. Never mind. I was right the first time. North Dakota State beat them 82-78 just recently, about a week or two ago. And they're playing again right now, which does worry me. That really does. And they like to play fast, too. That's another thing. I feel like they could win this game. I definitely wouldn't count them out at all. Like I said, 3rd fastest team in all of Division I. So if it does get into high scoring, you could argue that favors South Dakota State. But their defense is outside of the top 330. North Dakota State's isn't great either, but at least it's better than that. And again, North Dakota State also has the more efficient offense. Now, I do worry if they don't have a good shooting night, what their ceiling is, and we've kind of seen that. But I think I'm going to trust them to get past South Dakota. Although, again, I know I'm not taking South Dakota, but do not count them out. Everyone's saying this is a 4-team race. I would throw South Dakota in there. I'd say it's a 5-team race, just me personally. The 2 versus 7, St. Thomas versus Denver. I'm going to keep this short and simple. I think St. Thomas is clearly the better team here. They are top 125 in KenPom. They're actually the 2nd highest team efficiency-wise in this conference. But they're actually ineligible to make the tournament because they're a transition team, which does stink. But I think they get past Denver pretty easily here. And kind of the same thing with South Dakota State and North Dakota. I just don't there's definitely a tier gap in this conference. South Dakota State is the highest ranked team in KenPom in this conference. Crazy as a 3 seed, and Denver's not anything crazy. Denver's actually ranked eighth, or sorry, I'm not talking about Denver. I'm talking about North Dakota. North Dakota's ranked seventh in this conference. They one of the worst defenses in all of Division One, and I just think South Dakota State has just too much. I mean, they got a guy Oscar Clough, I believe is his name. He's a big man. He's averaging 19 and 12. He's been absolutely amazing for them this season. So I'm going to take them to the semis pretty easily here. But that sets up our top 4 seeds. Everyone's waiting for this, and I can't wait for this as well. This is going to be maybe one of the most. This may be one of the tournaments I'm most excited for, believe it or not, because all these teams play so fast-paced. They're so good offensively, and all 4 of these teams, I would argue, deserve to be in the tournament. I'm not saying there should be an at-large bid here, but you get what I'm saying. I think all 4 of these teams are worthy of winning their conference at least, just because of how good they've been. But let's start off Omaha versus North Dakota State. Now, Omaha has been very hot recently. They're the 1 seed, and they beat North Dakota State twice in the regular season, the 2 times they played. But I don't know. North Dakota State, they got a game record. Jackson Monai, I believe is how you say his name, or Moni. I think it's Moni. He is absolutely electric. I think he's averaging up to 21 points a game, somewhere in there, around 20. He's been absolutely electric. It might be 19. Like I said, North Dakota State, the best offense in this conference, in a conference that's very offensive heavy. Omaha ranked 100th in offense, 281 in defense, compared to North Dakota State at 49 in offense and 288 in defense. The defenses are so similar, and North Dakota State has a little bit, I would say, quite a decent amount more, at least offensive wise. They shoot so many threes, and they're shooting almost 40% as a team. Like I said, they shoot the most threes out of any team in the country. I'm going to take North Dakota State. Now, North Dakota State has a very high ceiling. They could be a dangerous team. If they make it to March, they could be very dangerous. They could also have a bad shooting night and not struggle to score 60. I mean, they got a very high ceiling, very low floor. I'm going to trust them, though, to the championship game over Omaha. I know Omaha has beat them twice. I know they're playing great. The vibes are up. But I got to trust the numbers, and efficiency-wise, North Dakota State is much higher in Omaha than Omaha. And I've seen all 4 of these teams being the favorites to win this conference, so I really don't know what to believe. I mean, I looked before this at the odds. Omaha seems like the least of the 4, surprisingly, to be favored, which is definitely interesting. But now to the 2 versus 3, St. Thomas versus South Dakota State. Both these teams are very close in KenPom. South Dakota State at 120 overall, St. Thomas at 125. St. Thomas actually much better offensively, which I definitely think is something to look at. But you look at South Dakota State, they're one of the faster-paced teams in this conference, believe it or not. Besides being, I believe, only the 4th or 5th highest-rated offense in this conference. They're 104, just behind Omaha. But defensively, they have by far the best defense in this conference. I think that's enough to get them past St. Thomas. I really do. I think Oscar Clough, the big man, I think he's a problem for St. Thomas. He's been so good in the paint for them. He's a big reason why their defense is so good. And I just think they have enough. I think they are the most complete team in this conference, and I think that's huge. In a conference that's dominated by offense, I think it's very important that this team has the best defense. So I'll take them over St. Thomas. They're not even eligible anyway. I know that's not a reason to pick against them, but and I would love to see them win their conference. Like I said, I think they're definitely deserving. They are the second highest ranked team in KenPom here, but the one team ahead of them is South Dakota State, so I'm going to take them to the championship game. So that sets up a South Dakota State versus North Dakota State game, a game that's usually a huge game in FCS football. We're seeing it in the Summit League championship game, the 3 and the 4 seed, surprisingly getting here. But I think for good reason. North Dakota State, the best offense in this conference. They shoot the most threes out of any team in Division I, and they shoot them very, very well. Jackson Money, a great player, taking on Oscar Clough, also a great player. Probably the two best players in this conference. Those are two game record type guys. Definitely, if either of these teams make their way into March Madness, watch out for these guys. Ultimately, though, you look at North Dakota State, 49th in offense compared to 104 for South Dakota State. So, bit of a gap, but defensively, South Dakota State at 170 compared to North Dakota State at 288. When it comes down to it, I'll give you two reasons. One, South Dakota State, I think, in the clutch time, I trust them. I just trust them a whole lot more to get a stop than North Dakota State. And the other thing with North Dakota State is I know they've shot almost 40% as a team from three, but can they do, and I know, again, I know they've done it all season, but like one bad shooting night and they're in trouble. I'll say that. Again, it doesn't happen very often. There's a good chance it doesn't happen and they go out and win this tournament. I wouldn't be shocked. I think North Dakota State actually was the team that I saw the most favored, either them or South Dakota State. It's pretty 50-50 between these two, but like I said, don't count out St. Thomas, Omaha, even South Dakota. Any of these teams can win. I do think South Dakota State, though, is the most well-rounded. Again, who do I trust to get a stop when it comes down to it? I trust South Dakota State more. They have the best defense in this conference and still a very good offense. It's not like their offense is bad or anything. Barely outside of the top 100. North Dakota State likes to play slow, so I feel like that favors South Dakota State in this matchup. Team who's not all the way as good, up to par offensively. North Dakota State, again, not bad whatsoever. But I feel like slowing the game down could actually favor South Dakota State, and they like to play fast too. But defensively, I think if North Dakota State wants to slow the game down, and if they, do that, I think it actually favors South Dakota State in a way. I think you guys get what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just talking in circles. I don't know. But I'm going to take South Dakota State to the tournament. I think if they get in, they probably get around a 14, maybe 15. Maybe 13, probably not. I would say probably 14 in there. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people are saying 4-team race. I think it's a 5-team race. This is one of the most exciting mid-major conference tournaments out there. Make sure you tune into this one. This one may be the most fun as well. I mean, so many high-powered offenses and teams that like to play at a ridiculously fast pace. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this conference tournament prediction video. Make sure you check out all the other ones. I think we've done, I'm not even sure. I think it's seven others, maybe 8, something like that. Just check those out. They'll be popping up on the screen here. Make sure you check all of those out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, if you made it this far. Comment down below who you got in this tournament. Turn on the noties to make sure you don't miss. We're posting all 31 conference tournaments within the next 2 weeks. Don't want to miss out on any of these videos, obviously. And not only do we do college basketball, we do college football, NFL, NBA, and MLB when those seasons are going. So yeah, it would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time with another conference tournament prediction video.